What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another Final Fantasy XIV update video. Sorry for not doing one of these for a long time. I know it's been quite a few weeks, I would guess. I've been kind of busy doing some stuff and playing Monster Hunter 3 again, so I do apologize if I haven't done any updates. I missed a few blogs and a producer letter and here and there, but I'm going to cover some of that today. I'm going to try and rush through it. I don't want to be too long because I know people were kind of like a little antsy about the last one being 2 hours, which I agree with. Is a little ridiculous, but I'm going to try and cut it down here. I'm going to be busy this weekend, so I won't be able to answer questions, but let's get right into it, and I'll try and answer them when I get back and be as thorough as I can. So, starting off, we're on the Lodestone, and I'll get to the blogs later. Right now, I just want to go over a few things that are a little bit more important you may not know about. So, to start off, the Square-Enix software token. I'll get into this maybe later, I think, but right now, basic gist of it is that for people that have a security token that they sign into the game with, some people, including my friends we were talking about this, is that the battery in this thing that came with the collector's edition to secure your account, and people from Final Fantasy XI know this too, they had these things. The battery could die, and essentially you can't sign into the game and play the game or your account on the Lodestone if this thing doesn't work. So what they did as a backup, they released this on iOS and Android. That's an app you can download. Only on there right now. They aren't planning it anywhere else. So if you have an iOS device or an Android, you can download a Square-Enix software token, and this basically is a little button that you press, and it pops up with this one-time code that you enter in when you're signing into the game, and it makes basically your account more protected so people can't hack into it and stuff. Not that I can imagine anyone with a life wanting to hack into a Final Fantasy XIV account. I mean, for World of Warcraft, I can see that being a possibility since that's a way more popular and way more people playing it. But with the new game coming out, I'm assuming there's going to be a lot more people playing across the console, and when by console I mean the PlayStation 3 and whatnot, and the PC. So I don't know if the PlayStation 3 users will get one too. I have no idea. I mean, I don't remember if... I mean, I didn't have one for 11. I know my cousins had them, so I'm assuming people on PlayStation 3 can get this also. But don't quote me on that. So moving on to the next topic down below, there's an Eorzean egg decoration contest. And I'll pull up my tab real quick. I think I have it up here. Yeah, here we go. Here's some really cool eggs that people did for this contest that's going on now. Now, the last contest was the Chocobo one, and after I'm done showing you this one, I'll get to the Chocobo winners that came with the last event. And I'll show you one my friend submitted to. Unfortunately, he didn't win, but I figure I'll give him some props and show it in a second. But anyway, here's a fantastic one that someone from the North American section of the Easter egg contest did, and it looks like something that could actually be in the game. This looks really fantastic. This is from Punalinen, or Punainen. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. But he or she did this wonderful egg, like with the little baby chocobos and the Moogles. I mean, that looks really cool. I mean, that'd be a really neat egg in the actual game itself. And then here's another one down below with a Moogle very happily holding onto an egg, and you can see like down below there's all these like rose petals and stuff for people that haven't played 14 during the, I think it's not the Valentine's Day event for Valentine's Day, but I believe it might be, I don't remember. There was a couple events, but what happened was during these events in the city, there would be like these rose petal trees that would be exclusively there for the seasonal event, and I'm pretty sure where they got that from. That's what it reminds me of, at least. I think that's really cool. Here's a bomb one that someone did. It's pretty neat. It's got like the cracked up top because of the bomb has those cracks on his head and whatnot. I thought that was pretty cool. And then here's a Dalamud one, which is really interesting. Very nice designs and stuff, and the little thing that he put it on. So not too much in the North American section. I haven't checked the other sections yet if they have one. But so yeah, so here's the Chocobo winner contest. That was the last one that was on the Lodestone, and here's a couple of the entries that were declared winners, and they're really good. This one looks very nice with the Makote White Mage riding her Chocobo. Someone did like baked cookies or something, like gingerbread Lalafell with the baby Chocobos. And this one, oh my god, this one's my favorite. This one looks exactly like one of the Square-Enix artist artwork. I don't remember who the artist is that do these types. I think it's Akihiko Yoshida, I believe his name is. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's Akihiko Yoshida that does all these types of artwork. I think he was the one that did the Tactics art and the 12 art, and he did the original 14 concept art, and he's still doing it today. And I swear to Christ, like, this looks almost exactly like his. It's fantastic. Like, this is by far my favorite. Like, you can see the little Moogle with, I believe that's the blacksmith helmet or the armor. I can't remember which one. I think it's the armor one. And there's, you see, like, a Lalafell blacksmith right there, or I forget which one's the AF they belong to. I'm pretty sure those are the blacksmith armors, but yeah, correct me on that one. But anyway, the armor looks fantastic. The Chocobo looks wonderful. And then here's like a little hoodie thingy for someone made for their kid, a Chocobo thing. It looks really cool. Someone did another model of a Chocobo, of the Legacy Chocobo somebody did. It looks really, really good. And then these are kind of interesting. I don't know what these are made of. This looks like some sort of like stitching or sewing, like a weaver type craft of different various Chocobo babies of Black Mage, White Mage, the minion one in the top left and the 11 looking one in the bottom left. Someone did another Chocobo model, which looks really, really nice. Very detailed on the feathers, the paint style, the anatomy looks really good. This one I love also, with it looks like an archer, and an adult female here archer with her, looks like, well, the armor kind of looks like it's Dragoon with a mixture of Grand Company, but looks really, really nice, very beautiful. And you can see like the after image of her as a child with her baby Chocobo, and then they're like grown up and stuff, so that's a really nice piece right there. And on the next section, this is one that that my friend did, not me. So if you see my name right there for my account, I actually submitted this for him because he could not sign into his account for this contest. So, and I was way too busy to do one myself. So I told him, like, why don't you do it? And if you can't sign in, let me upload it for you. Let me use up my space, my chance to submit for your picture. And I didn't want to say it was him because I would figure they would disqualify it or something like that. So I figured I would submit it for him to show him his work under my name, but I would give him the prize if we won. Obviously, I would mail it to him. So Spyro, if you're watching this, got your picture on there, man, like I promised. So letting people check it out. Really awesome artwork that he did. Really nice lighting and amazing drawing style. He's a really talented artist. And actually, here's his YouTube page right here if you guys should check him out. He does some 14 videos also. He actually did some counter point of views of us playing the same boss fights on Garuda and stuff. And he does like Dark Souls stuff and everything. So, but yeah, he's playing Monster Hunter right now on the Wii U. But yeah, it's a shout out to you, Spy. So go check his videos out and support him. He's a cool guy. He's awesome. Alright, so anyway, speaking of artwork, I just wanted to jump in here real quick. There's a lore forum that just got posted on the Lodestone forums, and Fern Hallace, that son of a bitch Aramin, so amazing. I love that guy, man. I fucking love that guy. Like, he did this whole forum that he's been working so hard for a long time, believe it or not. So everybody that loves, like, the lore in the game, the story, the history behind like all the major races you can play in the game, like the story behind like their names, their vocabulary, their language, their history, it's freaking amazing. Like I could create like an hour-long video just sitting here talking about all the lore in the game and the stuff that he's did. But what you're looking at now, you're probably like wondering, what is this? Well, this is a post that I had just talking with some of the guys on the thank you Fern thread, because we were thanking him for the new lore forums. And I actually had this picture, and I'll blow it up for a sec. I had this picture since November 28th when I created this, and I was gonna post this a while ago on the forums to like basically like an appreciation for Fern Hallace, but I guess I never got around to it. I was gonna color it in and everything, and it's not the greatest picture, but I figured it was just like a thank you thing for him, because I thought he was so awesome with all the lore that he does and stuff. And then, of course, I had to draw Kamate in there, too. So I drew him, you know, right there next to Fernhales, because you're probably wondering, like, why is he an Armin? Why is he a Snurble? Well, if you've seen in my videos on the forum sections how I read from the developer blogs or comments and whatnot, he's the one who does all the blogs, and he's the one that I read all the lore stuff from. And Kamate is one of the community reps that translates all the dialogue to us. So that's who those two are, in case you're not familiar with the forum guys. So they're really awesome. And I'll get into them a little bit more later when I get to some of the forum stuff, because I got a bit of sad news regarding some community members, and I'll get to that in a bit. And you probably already know it if you've been following the forum people. So I'll get to that in a little bit. And I'll get back to the letter from the producer, and then something with the letter live from the producer. So moving down the list, this is another important thing that I should throw out there. For anybody that's not going to be busy on next Friday, I think it is, the 5th of April. So yeah, next Friday. I'm recording this on the Friday, March 29th, so if you see on my calendar, the 5th is when this is going to happen. You're probably saying, well, what is this? What are you talking about? Well, there's a letter from the producer live that's happening on that Friday. Basically, it's going to be regarding the beta test and the official release of the game. So, if there's a forum on here, I don't know where the link is. It's somewhere in there. I'm kind of just like, I'm not really reading it right now. I'm just speaking from what I've read already and previously. But there's a link on here somewhere on this thing. I think, yeah, designated thread. There it is. You can go there and you can leave a comment, just like in the previous videos that they've had these on that I mentioned, and then you can go here, which is the hashtag for the Twitter account, where you can post the questions live, and they'll actually read it, translate it for the live broadcast. And if you want to view this, you can go to the YouTube Square-Enix page, or the Final Fantasy XIV YouTube page, the official YouTube page for 14. If you can't find it, if you're having trouble finding which one it is, it's on my page. It's on my account page on my channel, and it's on the right-hand side. There should be an 11 one and a 14 one, so click on the 14. I'll take you there. So when the day, on that Friday, they'll have like a countdown. So the video will have a countdown to when it starts. So you can leave it on their queue and stuff and just wait, and it'll automatically start on its own. And it'll be in Japanese. You cannot understand it if they won't have any dialogue or whatnot unless you can speak Japanese and understand it. But the reason I tune in is because you get to see like new artwork for the first time, new gameplay of the beta and whatnot, and stuff like that you can tune into. So just throwing that out there. If you guys have any more questions about it, just ask me in the comments and I'll reply to them like usual. So I don't want to take too much time on that. So let's move along to the next one, which is the next letter from the producer that came out on March 19th. So yes, this was a few days ago, and I deeply apologize for this video not coming out sooner, because I know some people have been looking forward to it and building up on my previous one. But I don't know if I should read this or not, because like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on this video, but since it's a letter from the producer live, I'm going to read this. I'm not going to read the blogs today, unfortunately. If you want me to, I'll do it in another video specifically for that, so let me know in the comments if you want me to read those for you, but I'm just going to skim through them basically and just show you the pictures. For the letter from the producer, I'm going to read it right now, and then I'm going to talk about what I can with the beta that's been officially publicly announced and presented to the audience. So here we go. So Yoshida says, "Hello again to all you eagerly awaiting Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. I've been up to my neck in work preparing for Phase 2 of the beta test, but I thought it was high time I sent out the 44th letter from the producer. The beta test is well underway, and the team is working hard to implement more features while addressing your feedback. All of you gamepad lovers better grab your favorite controller, because we're making final adjustments to the system so you can test it out in Phase 2. With 100,000 testers already playing the game, we've had severe server congestion every time we start up the servers, and I apologize for the trouble it's caused. One good thing that's come from this, however, is that we've been able to spot problems that didn't show up in the alpha test, and we've managed to fix them as quickly as possible. These issues wouldn't have been resolved without your help. However, there's still room for improvement in stabilizing the servers. We've implemented measures to alleviate Fate-related performance issues, made adjustments to the front-end server, and addressed server load issues in the starting zones. Bear with us for another weekend of Phase 1 testing. As I mentioned earlier, gamepad functionality will be ready for testing in Phase 2, which is scheduled to begin in early April. Right before that begins, I'll be making an appearance in another live letter, so don't miss it. We'll also be adding testers to put more pressure on the servers, so if you're not a beta tester yet, you'll have a chance to join in the next phase. So remember that, guys. Just to recap, the Phase 1 of the beta test has been reported publicly that it has ended, and now they're starting Phase 2 of the beta test in the first weekend of April, I would assume. So with in the first 10 days, people are reporting. So if you haven't been in yet, just be on the lookout in your emails, because they'll send you a new one so you can jump in. It's mostly geared towards the gamepad testing, is what they're saying in this letter. So it's mostly going to be like the same thing, but it's going to be testing gamepad controls for PC users like myself, because I use gamepad, love gamepad, and then for PS3 users, we're testing it for them before the PS3 one starts, which is the next phase. So, continuing on with what Yoshi P says, he says, where did I leave off? Keep in mind that testing the gamepad is the focus of the second phase, so the available content will be mostly the same, which is what I just reiterated. In my last letter, I briefly mentioned Guildhests, which are based on Behest from version 1.0. After reading your feedback, we decided to adjust the system so that you can attempt them at a lower level. Guildhests are scheduled for Phase 3, and I hope you'll be ready when they're finished. It wouldn't be fair to keep talking about things like this without showing you some amazing screenshots, so here's 3 shots that he shows off of the Guildhests, and I'll zoom in actually. It's all in Japanese, but these are obviously windows showing your XP and the guild that you get, a description of the Guildhest, and then this green box is a tutorial. As you can see, the little help icon on the top right, and they have little pages you can click through and explains you to the game so it's easier to understand. It's not like the original 14 where it just dumps you in the world and you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. So they have tutorials for like everything they're showing in a lot of these official screenshots they've been posting lately. It looks like you could see, I think that's an NPC Lancer from the Wood Whalers of Gridania standing in the middle there with the green jacket. And then obviously the 2 people on the left and the guy in the stairs are real players. And it's cool because you can see a barricade on the top of the stairs. And there's a bunch of goblins there. So what I would assume is you can like bash the barricade down, destroy it, and then you can march up like the frickin' tree stalk root thing or whatever that is in the right corner, and you just battle the goblins up like as like a tactical RTS style thing where you go like through several barricades of breaking them down until you get to like their base or something, or where they're all stockpiled at. And as you can see, this is up the stairs more from where we started. So it goes up that staircase, goes up the frickin' roots, and then it comes up here where they're fighting more goblins that are stationed around waiting for them. And they're like level 26, and the person playing is level 26 also, so they're at the same level range. And he finishes up by saying, here's a look at Guildhests. It's an easy way to part up with friends and can be enjoyed before you tackle dungeons later on, so look forward to group play even in the early levels. Well, it's time for me to get back to work. I think I hear my gamepad calling me. See you next time on the forums or in the beta test. Alright, so that is the letter from the producer that came out recently, and I don't know why my page says caca on it, but let me reload that. I don't know what that tab was, but anyway, here are the blog sections that I missed out on previously. Now this one was titled That's Why We Played. Now this is regarding a cosplay event that's going on, a cosplay contest for Final Fantasy XIV regarding the European 14 players. So this isn't sadly for North American members yet. They mentioned they might be doing one for us in the future, so that'd be pretty cool to look at. But here's the link to the Final Fantasy XIV Online cosplay competition page. So if you're a member of any one of these regions of Europe, you can actually submit your own cosplay of a 14 character or a villain or whatever, and you can get it for prizes and stuff. I don't remember what the prizes are. I think they're the same as the Chocobo ones. I'm not 100% sure. I guess we can check it out real quick. But yeah, you can upload here. Oh, here it is. You win a trip to Square-Enix head office in Tokyo, so you can actually meet the dev team for 14 and get a tour around the office and stuff, which is really awesome. And they'll probably show you some like artwork that hasn't been shown off yet and how they make the game and stuff and a bunch of other cool things. So that'd be really cool, especially to meet Yoshi P if that's a part of the trip, which I'm sure it is. And then runners-up have an official copy of Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn, as well as a merchandise goodie bag. So if you aren't a grand prize winner, then you get a goodie bag and a free copy of 14. So if you already have 14, I guess you get another copy for a friend or something. And that's 5 runners-up. And then the winners of the grand prize winner receives a flight and a 5-night stay in Japan, as well as an exclusive tour around Square-Enix's Tokyo head office. So I don't know if that... I guess it's not Final Fantasy XIV's development studio. I guess it's whatever their head office in Tokyo means. I don't know if that's the same thing as that. I don't know. But it's cool nonetheless. So check that out if you guys haven't already. If you're in the Europe province, European area. I don't know if I said that right. I sound kind of stupid, but whatever. Cosplay contest. Awesome. And that's what this blog focuses on, which is a Lalafell race starting gear, which looks really fantastic. And I love cosplay. I actually have a bunch of friends that are into it. I've done it myself a few times. I've actually thought about doing a 14 one, but you know, money is the biggest issue, and of course I suck at crafting, so that's a factor. But this is really great, and you can see the artwork that they used and the process it takes to make it and stuff, and the concept art of the various angles they use to go from, where the art team gives it to the crafters of the company and they craft it up and stuff, the people they hire. It looks really, really good. So that's the cosplay blog. Now this one's another Soken soundtrack that he released, a sample, which I love Soken. Like, his music is freaking amazing. Like, it's so good. Like, he's brilliant, man. He knows music so freaking well. And I love Nobuo Uematsu to bits, I really do, but Soken is a really amazing guy. And if there's anyone that I'd have to substitute for Nobuo not being around for the game, Soken's definitely the man to go with. And some of the things like he talks about is amazing. Like, for example, in Gridania, you can hear, like he said, you can hear different parts of the, like if it's morning or afternoon or night, it'll have like a different theme of Gridania play. So it's not the same thing playing constantly. Another thing, he said different like weather patterns will have like a different theme playing, or different times of the day, inside and out of the city. Not just the city, because like outside zones have different themes playing also, depending on the time of the day and the weather, and little cues and stuff that happen throughout the game with certain actions. And he's still constantly adding stuff. Like he said, he added so many that they're almost reaching like the max limit. It's insane. And I'm not going to play the thing, I'm not going to play the video, but I will link it for you guys to listen to. It's really beautiful. And there's another one for ul'dah that I'll get to at the end, which is the latest one that came out, but I'll get to that one in a second. So you guys can read this. Like I said, I want to make this video not as long as the last one, so I'm not going to read these blog posts. I'll let you guys read them in the links when I'll link them to you. But if you want, like I said, if you want me to read them, I will come back and I will go through all of them again, so don't worry about that. Here's Dial M for Madness, which this one was pretty cool because it showed off, you know, Lalafell sitting and crafting in the Leatherworkers Guild, and you can see in the background it's a little mammoth. The little mammoth's from ul'dah, which people that played Final Fantasy XI probably recognize the Puppet Master, the automaton, or automaton, however the hell you pronounce it. Automaton, I call it, but yeah, like this little guy is a minion that you can get, and he follows you around and stuff, so really awesome. He has like little animations that he does as he stands there, and really, really cool. So there's a bomb one so far, a baby chocobo, and a mammoth that they showed us, which is really cool. And that was about that one. Now this is the cool one. This is the Magitech one. So the Magitech armor, they finally showed off like what they're going to be going with, the finalized design. And you can see the Lalafell's version, which is standing right next to a Marmot for comparison's sake. Now, the Here, Rogadin, Miqo'te, and Eorzean one are going to be bigger because, as you know, Lalafell Chocobos are always smaller than the other races, so the same goes for the Magitech armor. Theirs is going to be smaller than everyone else's. That's why it looks so small compared to the squirrel right there. So the Here one and every other race is going to actually be bigger, so don't worry about if it's too small for your taste. That's just for the Lalafells, because it fits their ratio and whatnot. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's official or if that's like a testing area like they said in the blog, but it's basically what they're testing the Magitech armors out with a certain space. I don't know, that looks like an Imperial base to me. They said they have a lot of stuff planned, like you can do a quest and everything to get your Magitech armor, and you get another quest that teaches you how to use it and stuff, and it's going to be more than a mount that they were saying. Like, I don't, like, he kind of seemed like he was hinting to it being used in combat and all this stuff he was talking about in interviews and whatnot. It was really interesting. So it's going to be more than just a Chocobo mount. It's going to be something you attain through a quest like a Chocobo, but it teaches you, but it has a story attached too. So like the story was, I think somewhere I read on an interview, like you go into like an Imperial base and you steal the Magitech armor and then it becomes yours to use, but you got to learn how to use it. So you get like a quest that teaches you how to use it and unlock its full potential and whatnot. And really, really awesome. So, and if it's like the other mounts in the game, it'll have its own theme and everything, which hopefully it does, like a Final Fantasy VI style theme or something would be really freaking sweet. But it looks really fantastic. It looks a lot like, it looks identical practically to the Final Fantasy VI artwork version that I believe Yoshitaka Amano did for the original game, which is really, really cool. So if you want to check this out more, I'll link it in the info box again, like all the others. Really cool stuff. Now this one, I don't have anything to say, and if you're looking at this too, you're probably agreeing with the same thing. What the fuck? I'm almost kind of afraid to talk about this one, but you know what? I'm gonna let the images on this one speak for themselves. I think the 14 team was having a little bit too much fun with this one. So yeah, I'm just gonna move on to the next one. Alright, so this is the latest blog that came out yesterday, I believe it was. This is the ul'dah theme. Now, like I said, I'm not going to play this one either, but if you go on to their Square-Enix's 14 channel on their YouTube page, you can listen to it there. I will link it for you guys. It sounds really, really cool. And I do miss the old ul'dah theme, which, even though I loved it so much, and it was created by Nobuo Uematsu, I have to admit, it did sound like elevator music or something, or hotel theme music, which is kind of funny, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. This one sounds a little bit more like the old Limsa theme, where it's a little bit more proud and adventurous and energetic and stuff, and I really like that. It's really, really nice. It has a lot of variety into it. It's not like a loop or anything, like some of the old 14 songs. It has like a nice melody and everything. He has some Thanalan music in there too, which sounds fantastic, and just go listen to it. Like, you're doing yourself with the service not listening to it. You're going to really enjoy it. I can understand fully people missing the old music, but this one's really, really good. It does not disappoint. Soken's a fucking man. So, alright. So, I think that's going to do almost all of the blogs that I went over. Oh, here's another interesting one. Now, before I read this off, I just want to go over something. Recently, Square Enix President and CEO Yoichi Wada stepped down. He has he's been removed as president of the company. He has stepped down, and I don't even think he works at the company anymore. It doesn't even say in the thing that they released that he got renamed as another position. It just says this new guy, who I believe is, oh god, I can't remember his name. I don't want to butcher it, so I'm not going to try and say it, but it was somewhere on one of these articles I've read online, and I'll post it in the video somewhere if I find it after I record this video. But anyway, people were kind of nervous that Yoichi Wada stepping down meant something really bad for 14 and its development and whatnot. So Yoshi P came in here to settle everyone's concerns, and thanks to Kamate bringing this up, he goes, "Hello, below is a post from Yoshi P in regards to today's news." And this happened on the 26th, so this was about like 3 or 4 days ago, give or take. when this was posted and when we heard the news. And Yoshi P comes in, he says, "Producer and director Yoshida here. I thought I should give some answers ahead of the producer letter live. I would like to also..." Oh, this is from an actual user on the forums. He goes, "I would also like to know whether Wada-san stepping down will have an impact on the development of Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn and future developments." Yoshi P responds by saying, "The plans, stance, and structure of the development team will not be affected at all, so rest assured. Some have been saying to me, you haven't posted on the forums that much recently. Has this news affected you?" Excuse me. "But it is simply a matter of me feeling like I'm going to die from the beta operations being in full swing." And then another user says, "Wada said that Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn will bring back the Final Fantasy brand, and by just developing without a thought about the profits, I am now worried that what has just happened will have a huge impact. You can say that they have raised their level of perfection and aren't slacking to avoid the game failing for a second time, but there might be split a development budget and the billing structure may be affected after the game has been released. These are just some of the things I have been thinking about." And then Yoshida comes back by reassuring us with saying, "There will be absolutely no changes to our policy. We will continue to support the whole company and we are working at full speed for the launch of A Realm Reborn. You can actually say that we feel the responsibilities we have with Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn even more. But as the producer and director, I'm well prepared to face this and anything that comes our way. And we will put all our effort into delivering the greatest game to you all. Please rest assured." So that takes care of anybody's concerns that were wondering with Wada stepping down, if they were concerned about 14 in any way, shape, or form. So don't worry, the game's going to be completely fine. Everyone's putting their all into this game, and they're not ditching it just yet. So we'll see what happens. I'm pretty confident in the game. And as long as Yoshi P's at the helm, I think he could do no wrong. So the next one is the sad part I mentioned earlier in the video about Rukkirii. And if you see my videos, all of them, about the forum sections, I usually read from Rukkirii's posts quite often when she has really interesting dev responses and personal notes on forum topics. And she's not going to be here anymore. She's leaving soon. I guess she's moving on with her life. She's finding new things. And I know it sounds kind of weird because a lot of people were kind of like involved in her business, but I mean, she's a really cool rep, and I love all the reps here. I think they're like the most amazing reps I've seen for any game. Bayonne, Kamate, Fernhales, Rukkirii. So it kind of sucks that Rukkirii's going, but wish her the best of luck, and it was awesome that she was here. So yeah, if you can sign into the forums and whatnot, just do what everybody else did and basically leave your support down below and see what's up. So that's Rukkirii. Sad, but oh well. People have to move on with their lives, and yeah, so no more posts from the Coeurl. But we still have Okipuit and the others, so rest assured. And speaking of Okipuit, we have a couple posts regarding... what is this regarding? This is regarding legacy stuff. Okay, so Mihana says, "Hello, I'll get straight to the questions for this. Quite some time back, Yoshi P expressed interest in providing roleplayers with their own server in an interview. Since then, I don't believe any information has been revealed on this matter. Is a roleplay server still in development, or has this option been abandoned?" And then Okipuit responds by saying the development team is currently looking into this. So if you're a roleplayer for Final Fantasy or MMOs in general, you have that to look forward to. Your very own roleplay server that they're cooking up for you guys. So look forward to that. Second question from Mahana says, "One of the features for Legacy status was getting your name in the credits for A Realm Reborn. How will this work? Will it be our real names? The name registered in our Square-Enix account? Our chosen character name? If so, do we get to choose which character name will be inserted into the credits? Or our own usernames? Will it show in the in-game credits, or will it be on, for example, a separate insert in the packaging? Or on the Final Fantasy XIV website?" Okipuit responds by saying, "Here's how this works. We're planning to use an online registration form that will allow you to create an alias of your own choice. Players will be able to enter a first and last name, both of which can be up to 13 characters in length. The first letter of each must be capitalized, and no numbers or symbols will be permitted. We're also thinking of allowing only first names as well. My name, for example, could either be Okipuit Ogre or just Okipuit. Please be advised that there may be circumstances where certain names cannot be used, or we request that names are changed. Once everything is ready, we'll make an announcement here on the forum, so be sure to keep an eye out. So if anyone's a Legacy member, one of the parts of Legacy besides having a permanent discount, an exclusive Chocobo, and I forgot what the other thing was. My mind's kind of blanking in the moment with all this information overload, but one of the things was having your name in the credits. So basically, what I just read is the different options that you can choose from. So if you like your username, if you like your real name, if you just want the first word of your character's name, that's perfectly fine. Since I know some friends that have kind of silly last names, like my one friend's last name is actually Lusty Titties. Yeah, not lying there. Alright, moving on. So, what is this? Oh, this is the cosplay contest part that I went over earlier. Here's just saying that they're extending it to June 30th for people that are interested in crafting up a costume. And here's the website again that I linked. And here is one from Vergil. Vergil is awesome. I love this guy. He's actually on my server too, Riddle, if you see him under his character profile. Now, Vergil brought up this, and he's a talented artist. He drew this himself. I'm pretty sure he did. I mean, I don't see why not, but yes, he did draw this, and he's very talented. And he was proposing a mini minstrel companion, which is Yoshi P's character. And this is so awesome. Like, he has the character bumping into his Moogle mailbox, which they're implementing into the game. Bam, present comes out, and he unwraps it, and bam, Yoshi P. Little mini minstrel. And he had these really cool ideas, like how I think he says it down below or something, like, well, here's another rendition that Vergil did, which is really funny, of a mini minstrel following you around. And they were saying like cool things, like if he follows you around, he randomly has like little speech bubbles saying like, you know, stuff Yoshi P would say, like, oh, that part of the environment took about 4 months to create, or this little rat is 1.672 of our game. Da 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 da. Yeah, here it is right here. Denmo said this. Who's another very talented artist on the forums. He goes, that tree over there took 3 months to finalize. This fungi you're fighting is number 38527, spawned in your server. And in the shower, your hair was crafted and finally tuned by a team of 6 artists who got 3 hours of sleep a day. That'd be fucking awesome. So, really cool support. And actually, if you can believe this, frickin' Vergil had a response from here. Fern Hollies bumped in and said, I might have slipped and accidentally copied the URL for this thread, accidentally pasted it into a mail that was accidentally addressed to Yoshi P, and then accidentally pressed the send button. Accidentally, of course. And Yoshi P got it. He goes, LOL, Vergil's arts are very cute. And he actually typed that himself, like, he doesn't speak English, so the fact that he did it himself is pretty amazing. Like, he came on here and he took the time out of developing the game on the beta to comment on a fan's artwork. I mean, come on. How many fucking devs do that? That's pretty awesome. The director himself. Give a round of applause to the man. And Fern Hollies for being awesome yet again. So, really cool. And shout out to Vergil. You're fucking awesome, man. Stay classy. So, let's see what we have next. Here we go. Recently, there was a PAX event for Final Fantasy XI, 14, and some other Square-Enix stuff, I believe, but primarily Final Fantasy for its 25th anniversary. And here's a video that you can stream. I will link it to you guys, and you can find it on the Square-Enix members website as well, so you can view it on there, the whole thing. So anyway, I believe this was, I don't remember who the one guy is. He's one of the community reps, but Bayonne was there too. And you get to finally see him and hear him talk about the game. And, well, I mean, I'm sure he's been in other videos before, but this is the first time I've seen him talk in a video. So that was pretty cool, hearing the Marlboro speak for the first time. And he goes over basically like what they're doing with the game and all this other stuff. So you see bullet points down here of what they talked about first, how they showed stuff from Final Fantasy XI Secrets of Adoulin, which just launched recently, like a couple days ago, I think, even. And then they got into the meat of the discussion of the whole presentation, was Final Fantasy XIV, obviously. And then they showed something, new trailer for the Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD remaster that's coming out for PS Vita and PS3, which I'm picking up, by the way. Really excited for that. and a whole bunch of bullet points that they went over and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to read all that off, but I will show you the pictures so you could read it later when you guys get the chance. But yeah, here's some of the stuff that they showed off during the slideshow presentation. And oh my god, let me just say, I fucking love this costume. It is pure win. Oh my god. First of all, I'm a sucker for chocobos. I love chocobos. They're my favorite thing about Final Fantasy. So having this big, ridiculous fucking chocobo costume is so awesome. Like, can you imagine, like, some of the players just going around, like, fucking around with this thing on? Like, it's gonna be like my friend Carol, who has, like, the reindeer costume all the time. Because we call him the reindeer, because he's a little lava fella that always wear the reindeer costume. So we call him the reindeer. I mean, we even have, like, a lounge on our Mumble server called the Reindeer Lounge. It's amazing. So the fact that my character's called Jerbird, I can run around like I was a bird, and he could be the freaking reindeer. And I already have the Chocobo mask from which you actually acquire as an achievement reward for doing, I think it's like 1,000 or something, 1,500 Chocobo Caravan escort boxes being delivered or something like that. You get as a reward. I'm guessing the rest of the body pieces are an achievement reward also. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's my best guess. Because they're adding a whole bunch of new Chocobo stuff to the game. So I'd figure the rest of the costume is an achievement reward as well. So it's really fantastic, very ridiculous and silly, but I love it, man. That's so awesome to play around in and be a goofball. Here's the warrior art, which you've already seen already. This isn't really new, but they were showing it to the audience. Here's the Vanya set, which Black Mage, well, no, actually, no, this was this class-specific clothing that you can craft. It was like high-tier endgame craft that thaumaturges can wear, and I'm not sure white mages could wear it, but I know for a fact the thaumaturge could wear it only, not the black mage, and that's the astrolabe that you had a double meld for the black mage relic weapon, which he's holding in his hands. And yeah, they were showing that off. Here's obviously the black mage AF, which is the original version that they had. You'll notice that the actual one has a black hat and it's fully black, which I like this one better than the one that they actually went with, which is unfortunate. But they said in the future you can dye your gear, so hopefully I can dye mine to look like that. And then here is the Warriors of Light theme that they were talking about, that the players are going to be classified as. So there's adventurers, and then there's the Warriors of Light, which are also adventurers, which I'm assuming is what we are from 1.0, or what people that are playing the game for the first time eventually work their way up to become the Warriors of Light. And I pulled up an entry here on the Final Fantasy Wiki, which the Warriors of Light, for people that aren't familiar with the earlier games, is... I'll read it right here. It's a recurring theme in the Final Fantasy series. 4 heroes are chosen by the crystals. In the MMO's case, the players themselves, all of them are heroes chosen by the crystal. The Mother Crystal in 14's case, which is the central story, be it a prophecy, a will, or by fate, to go on a dangerous journey to fight evil, the Garlean Empire and the Primals, or simply restore balance to the world, again, fighting the Empire. And the games they appear in, the Light Warriors... the Light Warriors are always the playable characters controlled by the player. So you have the original Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy III, Final Fantasy V, which they had the Warriors of Dawn, I believe it was called, and then the Warriors of Light, which people were drawing links to the 1.0 players being the Warriors of Dawn, which was like Galif's party, and then the Warriors of Light being the new party that rose up to fight against Exdeath, and then... you know, subsequent games and spin-offs and whatnot had them as well. So with 14, you also have the Warriors of Light theme making a grand return to the series once again with that classic Final Fantasy feel. So for people that are bitching about Final Fantasy being too far off from its roots and not having the story and elements like 13, for example, or other really recent games, 14 is going back to like classic roots with all the classic elements with the Mother Crystal and the Imperial storylines and the summons and the Warriors of Light. So they're going the whole fucking 9 yards in case anybody's concerned at all about the story. So it's going to be a very traditional Final Fantasy-esque story if you're a fan of those classic Final Fantasy games. So not to worry story-wise. You'll be very happy with it. So even if you're not happy with the gameplay, the story will be there to satisfy you, if that's your sort of thing. If you're like a lore and story buff like I am for Final Fantasy. And that is the end for the Final Fantasy XIV PAX presentation that they showed. And here is just the trailer of Final Fantasy XI Seekers of Adoulin that they released for the launch of the new game that came out for 11 players, which is the last expansion and game to be released. Well, not the last expansion. It's the last game on the PS2 in Japan, and it's the latest expansion for Final Fantasy XI. So you get like Geomancer and I forget the other one. It was like Rune Fencer or something, which is the other new job that they were adding. So that's really cool. Check that out if you're an 11 fan. That was shown at PAX, and you can pick it up now actually at various different sources if you're interested. So check that out. I'll have that in the link as well. And I think that will just about do it for this episode. Before I go though, I just want to give a simple shout out to Ken at Ken's Crazy Gaming, because he's been having a rough time, and he's a really good guy, and I think he does a great job with his videos. He's very talented when it comes to like video editing and his commentary and his quality. He's a very good YouTuber. He's a very honest, nice guy, and the poor guy's been getting a lot of shit from people recently. He's been getting support from a lot of people, and he's also been getting a tough time as well. So regarding Final Fantasy XIV, I know I mentioned him in a previous video, but he took down all of his 14 videos previously because he got a copyright strike from Square-Enix because he's a partner with YouTube and TGN, and I guess he got a strike because, well, Square-Enix sent him an automated message saying that he's not allowed to upload anything that's copyrighted, and even though he has commentary and that's under fair use, they still nailed them because I guess he makes money off them. And I know a lot of people that do video game commentary like Ken, and they work with Machinima, and if they do get a copyright strike, it's immediately thrown away by Machinima because they take care of their people, and they somehow have this thing set up where they're allowed their users to make money off it without any problems whatsoever. So I don't know how the hell that works exactly, and I'm kind of ignorant when it comes to this whole sort of like YouTube monetization shit, so I don't make a dime off my videos, so I don't know. I've gotten copyright claims on Final Fantasy videos like maybe 2 or 3 times. I've disputed several of them, but like my previous one that I got, the one with all the views on it and shit, that one got a copyright claim. Now, claim is not the same as a strike. Claim just claims ownership, but allows you to keep letting it being shown to people. A strike means that it's just taken off completely, and believe me, I completely feel for Ken in this, because I have gotten many strikes in the past when I was learning how to use YouTube and about copyright laws when I was younger on YouTube. So now I'm a little bit wiser. I've been learning more how to use copyright. I'm still kind of ignorant to it, so it's probably not the best thing to be saying in a public video, but I just want to say go over there and support him, help him out, subscribe to him, check out his videos. Ken, if you're listening to this, you're awesome, man. Keep doing your videos. Don't let those assholes at Square-Enix stop you. You should, by fair use, be able to keep doing this, especially since it's advertisement, but just, I don't know, just to be safe, find if there's a way you can do Square-Enix videos without getting paid on them, just like leaving those ones like not being monetized, but the rest of your videos be monetized, if you know what I mean. Figure something out, but don't let them push you around. Don't let them tell you what to do. There's tons of YouTube users out there that do this, that do not get this kind of shit. I've seen many people do Final Fantasy XIV and Final Fantasy XIII and any Final Fantasy game out there, or Tomb Raider, which is also Square Enix and Eidos, and not have any problems. So the fact that they pick on you on a video nonetheless, that it's not even a gameplay video, it's just talking about public knowledge. I mean, I can understand if it was a gameplay video or something mentioning like NDA breaching, but the fact that they do it on a video that's like something similar to mine, where it's like talking about public knowledge and shit, that doesn't make any sense, NDA or not, or copyright or not. So maybe it's the monetization thing like people mention in comments. So I don't know, I'm rambling on, but I just wanted to do this section of my update video just to show that, I feel for you, man. I support you. I want people to go over there and help you out, and show you some love and back you up and all this jazz and whatever. So stay strong, man. Don't give up on 14. Figure something out. Don't let them push you around. Stand your ground. Look up copyright laws and what you can and can't do, and just, you know, find a loophole or whatever that you can still bring people 14 content, because I want to see your content. There's thousands of other people that want to see your content. You do great videos. You're an awesome guy. So shout out to you, man. You're awesome. So I'm totally here for you, to support you if you need anything, man. So go check them out, guys. Okay, so that was a mouthful. A lot to talk about today. I don't have anything else to say. I'm going to be gone this weekend, so I won't be able to answer any questions or anything like that until the following Monday at the latest or earliest or whatever have you, because I'm, you know, it's Easter weekend, blah, 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 so I'm going to be with family and stuff and doing all that and playing games and whatnot. So, okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if this was another long one. I really do apologize. Let me know what you guys think. If this video was helpful, informative, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If there's anything I missed or should improve, let me know and I'll get to it. So thank you, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.